Hello YouTube, today I'm going to be reviewing the AHL or A Half-Life Yoyos Light. So one thing to talk about before we get into anything, this is a B grade. So you're most likely going to be getting an A grade if you get this from Aliexpress. It's going to have some slight differences. So the biggest thing that you will notice with this yo-yo is it's huge. It's a big yo-yo. Let me do some comparisons for you. I usually don't do this, but I feel like it's necessary for you to understand this yo-yo. This is the One Trop Countach 5000 QV. Already a big yo-yo. This yo-yo is bigger. This is the C3 Yo-Yo Design Crown 2018. It's a fairly average size yo-yo, average width, average diameter. This is bigger. Recognition, this is a wide yo-yo, but this one is wider. And then last, this is the Remaster Galaxy. This is what I would consider a novelty yo-yo because of its size. Has a bigger diameter, but it's not as wide. So the reason why I felt like it was necessary to do this was to help you understand how big this thing is, but then also to iterate my opinion on novelty yo-yos a little bit. So what I consider a novelty yo-yo is a yo-yo that inherently has a different feeling from something that's normal, but also requires you to change up the way that you play to use it. So this yo-yo is wide enough that I have to change the way that I play to make sure that I don't hit too many strings. In some cases it's great because it makes landing certain tricks easier because of how wide it is, but it's also wide to the point that I have to really be careful if I'm doing any type of tech trick so that this only grabs the string that I'm wanting it to. This yo-yo, however, kind of fits the middle ground between what you think an average yo-yo would be and a novelty yo-yo would be. So it still feels different and it feels really fun, but it doesn't necessarily require you to change the way that you play. The one exception I would say is chopsticks are quite difficult with this, especially I have tiny hands and this is a big yo-yo. And so chopstick tricks are doable, but with this it's harder because it has a 58 diameter with a large width. So that makes it a little bit more difficult to do chopsticks, but those are a little bit out of style at the moment, so I don't see that really being a problem for most yo-yo players. And then one thing to notice about this yo-yo is also this bimetal ring. So you can't really see it on camera, but this ring is on the tip of a second rim on the inside. So if you really enjoy middle rim yo-yos, this yo-yo has a slight amount of that feeling to it. The rim is really close to the edge, so it doesn't do it as much as a yo-yo that has the rim a little bit more inside, but you still get that floaty, maneuverable feeling that you get from having an inner rim. That's all I have to say about it here. We're going to play with it out there, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, so we're back with the AHL Light. If you're wondering what this blue thing is, it's actually a Snuggie that I'm hanging up on this wall. I've used it in a few of the videos so far. Okay. I'm going to release some string tension real quick. Probably use the string a little bit more than it's at right now. I don't change my strings as often as I probably should. Overdid it. Whatever. Okay. So, when throwing it, some things that you notice is it's got some float to it, but it also has a decent feeling on the string. So you can tell that it's there on the string, but when you pop it out, it stays up a little bit longer than you might expect. Maybe just like a hair longer, but it's enough that you can recognize it. You can crank up the speed a little bit with it. And again, it spins pretty long. It doesn't feel huge, but when it's in the hand, it just feels comfy. It's almost like you're hugging one of your larger friends. Just a comfy yo-yo. Yeah, but overall, the way that this thing plays, in terms of speed, it prefers kind of a middle of the ground, a medium speed. But if you want, you can play it really slow. It doesn't beg you to go faster. Or you can speed it up. In terms of weight, when you're feeling it, it's interesting because it feels light in the air, but then has a tiny bit of heft on the string, so it definitely doesn't play heavy at any point, but when it's in the air it feels lighter, and when it's on the string it feels a little bit heavier. But overall, it feels really nice and comfortable and will spin long for you. When it comes to the finish, again, this is a B grade. The part right here, the finish is fine. It's decent and will get you some decent grinds, but inside the cup for me, and this might be this colorway, and because it's a B grade, but doing finger spins and thumb grinds just feels really bad. Because like, as you can see on the inside, there's different colors. Those different colors have slightly different texture, especially this blue and red in here. That's just not very pleasant to touch. So I don't do finger and thumb grinds on this thing because it doesn't feel good. Now on to where you can get this. You can find this on Aliexpress for $60. It's really nice for that price. It's super fun. I would say go and get yourself one of these, especially if you want to get a big organic that can perform well, because that's what this thing does. Thank you. That's all I have. Hope you have a great day. Bye.